Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming this morning early. My name is Francesca Berwet. I am the CSTEP director at Queensborough Community College, and I would like to thank every one of you who made the effort to come to the first CSTEP Welcome Back breakfast. Why the breakfast? I thought it's one of the most important meals of the day. It's the first meal of the day, and as students, a lot of you don't get a chance to have breakfast before coming to school. It's a very bad habit, but you do it. So I decided to have it in the morning. I also wanted to have that breakfast this morning because it's a new day, it's a new month, it's a new semester and a new year, and I wanted us to take some time and reflect on new goals that we can set and make new choices to have a successful term. I invited a few guest speakers, and I would like to introduce Dr. Paul Jean-Pierre, Dean of Academic Affairs, Student Affairs, I'm sorry, and he will just share with you some motivational words. Okay, welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning and welcome to QCC for the freshmen, and we want to welcome back the continuing students. Having had a chance to run a grant-funded program, that is the College Discovery Program, I do appreciate all the other grant-funded programs, particularly CSTEP. I'm reminded of a study that was done by a professor by the name of Tinto, T-I-N-T-O, at Syracuse University, where he found that at the college level particularly, when students are connected or feel connected to even a singular person on campus, they do well, not only academically, but socially. And that person could be anyone from the president down to a janitor. Why do I bring this study up? Because the CSTEP program is run like a family. The CSTEP program provides opportunities for connections, for networking. The CSTEP program provides that relationship that is needed to succeed academically and socially, as Dr. Tinto has found out. I'm only hopeful that you will take advantage. This is not I, okay. I'm only hopeful that you will take advantage of all the opportunity that is given unto you by the CSTEP program. I know that Jeannie and Francesca are there to provide you with primarily that connection that I mentioned. Secondarily, with opportunities like tutoring. It is perfectly fine if one is having difficulty with a subject to ask for assistance. It is there. That support service is there. And I'm sure that not only do they provide tutoring, they also provide opportunity if you cannot buy a book. They will help you with that. They will also help you in terms of advisement, which is extremely important. Actually, we take advisement seriously at QCC. That's why we require that freshmen receive advisement. We've hired advisors to provide that. We have, I think, Scott Belser here, who's one of those advisors, to make sure that you don't waste your time and money here, that you only take what you need and then move on, graduate and move on. So we provide that at that level, and also once you've completed a year and you have 24 credits, and I think there is a GPA requirement too. So you need to take advantage of the tutoring, of assistance with books, of advisement particularly. Especially if you are receiving Pell and TAP. You cannot take classes that are not within your curriculum. You all know that. Actually, you can. Let me rephrase that. But you need 12 credits each semester within your curriculum. And you can take whatever else you want outside your curriculum, should you choose to diversify. Is that clear? You can take 12 credits within your curriculum, and you can take 3 or 6 more outside your curriculum. But make sure you have, I'm sure that Francesca will make sure that you don't stray from that. In addition, we provide opportunity for you to do research. What I do know about research, once you've done it once, you can do it again and again and again. That means you are prepared for the 4-year institutions, you are prepared for graduate school. That's all. That's extremely important. That gives you a chance to work with professors to do actual research. And I understand that not only do you do research, you get an opportunity to present your research. And you will be competing, I understand, with not just community college students, but also 4-year institutions and some Ivy League colleges. And we've been doing very well over the years, thanks to Francesca and Jeannie and Rehab, who decided to leave us to go to, of all the places in the world, San Antonio, Texas. I happen to have been there. I was in the military, and I was stationed at Fort Sam Houston. And San Antonio is not too far from Fort Sam Houston, so I'm very familiar with San Antonio. Anybody here from San Antonio, Texas? Okay, so I can say the next thing I want to say. It is somewhat culturally deprived. It is very small. There isn't much to do there. It is not New York, let's put it that way. Please do not record that. Okay. It is too late. Okay. Anyway, I mentioned that as a honor to Rehab. Rehab had to go there because her husband had obtained a job at San Antonio. But anyway, all kidding aside, you will have opportunity. This program provides you with the opportunity to do research with the professors and to present your research to other colleagues, not only from community colleges, but also from 4-year institutions, including some of the Ivy League colleges. In addition, we provide opportunity for internship. And that kind of experiences, you cannot place any value on that. So this is an honors program, and we provide you, as you well know, with all kinds of opportunities to prepare yourself, not only for a 4-year institution, but also for graduate school. The hope is that all of you have that aspirations. There is no reason why you cannot live here, go to a 4-year institution, and then move on to a graduate school. It has been done, and as you will hear, we have returning students who are here to share their experience. Very good. It has been done, it's been done, and we will continue to do it. That's what CSTEP does. And you are in the sciences and technology, and those are the fields that we need. We need people in those fields, I should say. The hope is that you will take or avail yourself of all the opportunities that we provide. And indeed, if you are having difficulty with any topic, any subject, do not hesitate to go for tutoring. There is nothing wrong with that. Do not hesitate to ask for a book. If you need a book, I'm sure that Francesca and Jeannie will help you with that. You can borrow a book, or we'll buy a book if need be for you. Avail yourself of the internship opportunity. And of course, most important of all is the opportunity to do research with professors here, and the opportunity to present your research. And CSTEP program has won a lot of awards. CSTEP students has won a lot of awards at QCC. And of course, the hope is that you will end up in graduate school. That's where we expect you to end up. And in terms of research particularly, that's what we need. We need people who can do research. We need people who can discover new things. And there is no reason why you cannot do it. The very fact that you've been accepted in the program means that you have, as they say in computer language, you have the hardware necessary to do it. And that is the extent of what I have to do. I have to say, but I'm hoping that you will keep in contact with Jeannie and Francesca. They are there to help. They know what to do. They've been doing it for a while. And with that last word, I will bid you adieu unless you have some pressing questions you want to ask. Thank you very much. Enjoy.
Okay, now that you mentioned research so often, I have with us a few students, returning and current students that are doing research, who have done research, and would like to just share with you their experiences and encourage you to join as well. I'm going to introduce former QCC student, but still on campus, Clayton Hogan, in chemistry. Go ahead.
Thank you, Francesca.
You're welcome.
I'm not going to use the mic, I'm just going to speak. How many students right here are interested in doing research at Queensborough Community College? 1, 2, 3, 4. These are a slightly messed up format. Please keep your hands up so I can hand you these first. These were printed, there was a little error with printing them, so the tables are a little messed up on the first page where you put your demographic information. So the rest of it you can follow along with. Okay. So Francesca's had some concern for students who come and want to do research, and the students are concerned that it's too difficult. They don't exactly understand how to do it, that they're going to go in and it's going to be a professor who's telling them to do something they don't understand, and they're not really going to have a grasp of it, they're not going to feel comfortable with it. So the idea is that when you're doing research at this school, you got to understand that anything a professor can do, anything a PhD can do, you can also do the same thing. Actually, you can do more than them if you put in more work to what you're doing than them. And if you do more than them, you also get the credit for what you do. If something goes towards a publication at the end of your research, and you provided more inspiration and more theoretical conception to the project than the professor, you know, there's some professors who will actually put your name ahead of theirs on the paper when they publish it. I'm sure you are aware that there are certain grants, research grants, that can be paid to students. However, you know, as most of you will be eligible for those scholarships because of the fact that you fall under the minority classification. Some of the reasons you want to do research is if you want to do a PhD, you want to do an MD, or if you want to do an MD, PhD. Now, the big thing here is what Dr. Jean-Pierre was saying, is you get a big connection to people. So you have a network of people you can work with, particularly with the applications we put out with the physics department. We work with professors from the physics department, we have biology professors, and we have chemistry. So it's probably about 10 or 12 mentors that are working on the projects that we have. Right now we have 5 or 6 projects, currently 6 students that are working for us. We actually have one student who has a bachelor's from Stony Brook who works with us, and he's helped mentor other students too. So it's a very large group and it diversifies. So you can do chemistry, you can do biology, you can work on the biophysics part, and then we have work that's just with the physics. So the CSTEP conference was a big thing I went to. Actually, it's one of the first things I went to. And it was one of the things that made me love research because I went there and I really didn't know what it was going to be. But it was a lot of people who were just like me and everyone was just hanging out and having fun. And really you just go and you see that it's, you know, everyone's there to enjoy themselves. It's not just about work. I was lucky enough to win first place at that competition, which is a good thing also. And you get a lot of recognition for what you do when you actually accomplish something and you put in the time for it. Right now we have 2 different things that are going towards publications. So we're already writing the publications for those. These are all things that you can do as students. So I was a student here, now I'm at Queens. I'm back here to direct the other students who are doing it. So you guys can do the same thing that I did here in your time here. You can get publications if you want, you get your awards, you get your scholarships, and it's very beneficial to you. A lot of people come back trying to go into a PhD or an MD, and they find out they can't because they didn't do certain things at the beginning, and they're like, well, certain people told me to do them, but I thought I'll put it off, it's too hard, or this professor doesn't like me, I can't do this. No, don't do that, because at the end you're going to find out that that's really going to come back in and get you. If you want to get into a program and you find out you have no experience, you have nobody who can say anything good about you, you need to have those things. You got to have recommendations and you have to have experience. So we are currently, the applications are out there right now, we're currently looking for 4 students to work with different professors. We have 2 projects right now on our projects that we're looking for, and we have 2 other professors in the physics department that are also looking for students as well. So with our specific group, which is me and the chairman of the physics department, Dr. Lieberman, there are slightly more requirements. Instead of the 3 hours a week, you have to do at least 4 hours a week, which is a minimum of 2 days, 2 hours on each day. For the other groups, I believe it's a minimum of 3 hours, which is the school minimum for research. So if you contact us, just let us know what type of type of research you're interested in doing. You have them, it's on the application there. Questions are just, why do you want to research? What types of research are you interested in doing? Are you interested in experimental or theoretical work? That means do you want to be working with a laser in a lab? Do you want to be in a lab where we have 0 shells where they're making? Do you want to be one of the people who goes to Brookhaven with us to do x-rays? Do you want to go to Queens to do the x-rays? Do you want to work on bioinformatics process where we're analyzing DNA sequencing, protein engineering? Just give us a general idea of what field is it that you're looking to work in. And then we can place you somewhere that will be beneficial for you and also they'll take advantage of your ability. So that's another question actually that's not on here, but if you have any ability that you feel would make you particularly useful in an area, or if you feel like you're very good at chemistry, or you're great at organic, or you're great at bio, let us know also, because that may be very favorable for you. If you feel like you can do something where we really need someone who can do something we're lacking, you probably get in almost right away if you can do one of those things. Last question here is just, do you have any prior research experience? And to be honest with you, me and Dr. Lieberman feel the same way about this. We really don't care very much. If you don't have research, it doesn't matter. If you're smart and you pay attention and you come in and you can do the work, that's it. We'll take you if you feel that you can do those things. If you do have research experience, it definitely won't hurt you. It might help you, but the students who don't, you're not going to be stifled or hurt at all for the fact that you've never done it, because that's the whole idea. It's community college. You're supposed to be starting research. We don't expect 90% of you to have any experience. So that is pretty much the majority of what I wanted to say. The last part, when you are filling out all the information here, you'll just take these questions and you can just rewrite them into an email, and you can email them to me at the top. And what I will do is I actually want you each, before I meet with you or sit down with you, I'll have you meet one of the new research assistants that we have, because we have 2 or 3. That way you can talk to them and they can tell you what their experiences were like for the first month. We just had a group of a few new people who started. They already presented in the winter. They have their stuff that's done now. They're going to go to conferences in this semester. Some of them are being paid. We have a student from Stony Brook who's paid. She works on weekends. We have a student from City University who comes back. She's paid. And then we have other students who work here and students who actually come and still multitask on these projects too. So you guys are going to get to work with a lot of different people. You're going to get to meet a bunch of different professors from different departments, and it'll open you up to the research field. And hopefully, it helps you guys as much as it helps us to get the work done, because we do want to train you, and we also want to get our research done. So if we can get both of those things done at the same time, it would be fantastic. So thank you for your time, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. Good job. Thank you again, Clayton. And I also have a recent CSTEP student who did research over the winter at Brookhaven Laboratory. And I would like him to say a few words about his experience. Stephen, come in.
I am Steve. I am a current student here at Queensborough. I will be finishing up this semester. I'll graduate and move on to a 4-year school. To go back a little bit farther, during the month of October, I had no research opportunities, I had no internships. I was looking, I couldn't find anything. All I managed to do was just do my courses, just get my exams done, you know, whatnot, make sure I got high grades. After a while, my chemistry professor had approached me and said, "Steve, you're doing really well in my class, and I'd like to know if you want to do some research." So I said, "Yeah, sure, great, you know, why not?" And about a month later, we started going through the paperwork. So now we're going like middle of November. I'm just starting to do this now. Keep in mind, it's February 1st, so this is a very new thing that's happening to me. So they got me set up with this 1 week, basically mini semester they call it, over at Brookhaven National Laboratory. It's out in eastern Long Island. And basically what we did there is when you're there, you actually get introduced to what research is like. So basically we were allowed to interview scientists. They call them reverse interviews, but you were allowed to ask in a group any number of questions you wanted to ask them. And it's pretty interesting. A lot of them were pretty much saying you follow the research, you do this and whatnot. Don't be afraid to change your mind when you're going through school. If you find that you like something else and you want to change your major, do so. You'll be happy when you do it. The other thing is that you also had to do some work. We had to write a report based on those interviews. Was there a common theme? Was there a particular scientist we liked? And we spoke with scientists in biology, physics, chemistry, biochemistry. And it was a really amazing experience. The other thing that we did was our own little PowerPoint presentation, because public speaking is kind of, if you go into research, you're kind of going to be expected to present your research for other people to see. So this way you can continue to get funded in the future. So we all had to do that. Everyone was nervous as hell. It was funny watching everybody with their handshake and still being able to speak. So everyone's new going into research. You know, you don't have to have this kind of research background. And after that week, I started going back to Brookhaven. My mentor wanted me to go in and start learning how to do things. So when you go into research, you don't start immediately, oh, here's a computer, invent something. It's more like, oh, we need that glassware washed. You start off with something very mundane, you start washing it, okay, great. Then afterwards you start to learn things. Okay, well, these are the compounds we're working with. This is what we actually want to do with this. This is what we're trying to do with it. And then you start learning, okay, well, I know what this means now. And you learn how to actually perform your different procedures. And it starts really opening up opportunities. You start really thinking, like, when I started coming to Queensborough, I was like, well, you know what, I'll just do the engineering science program, and then I'll move on to City College or something, and that's it. You know, I'll get a degree, get a job somewhere, and I'll be done, just collect a paycheck. But now I'm going in, I'm thinking, well, maybe not. Maybe I want to do something more. So even at this point, I'm still going to want to go to City College. I still want to be a chemical engineer. But now I'm considering even maybe minor in chemistry, get a little extra, or even dual major, chemistry, chemical engineering, just so I can get a little bit more insight into the chemistry part. So if I want to start developing different compounds and then learning how to apply that as well, I think that might actually work out pretty well for me. So, again, the research is probably one of the best things you can do. When you come out of school, you can have the best grades in the world. You can have a 4.0 GPA. Problem is, I guarantee you, someone else does too. What differentiates you from that other person is the fact you have research done. And they're going to want to know. When you go to a job interview, they don't care really where you went. They don't care what your GPA is. They'll ask you about that research. What did you do? What did you do it with? What did you learn? And that's really what it is. And there's so many opportunities here. Now, once I started getting into research, I was finding out, wow, there's a lot of different things you can do here. There are a lot of different research opportunities. There are other places. I just got accepted to the community college internship this summer. 10 weeks, Brookhaven National Laboratory, paid. You get to stay on site with the other scientists and other students, 2-year and 4-year students from all around the country. This is going to be incredibly awesome. I loved that 1 week. I didn't want to leave. At first it was a little awkward because you don't know anybody, so you go, hi, and that's about it. But at the end you're like going out, having dinner, and it's a whole lot of fun. It's a lot of work though. I mean, I haven't had much free time to myself the last few weeks. I actually consider myself a pretty heavy gamer, about 3-4 hours a day playing games. Now I haven't touched a game in like 3 weeks, but I'm having so much more fun. And honestly, this is really what you want to do. You know, so if you're considering it, please, there's so many different opportunities, not just CSTEP, but you can talk to the heads of all your departments, and there are several clubs out there that have these research opportunities. So let's look into it. So any questions? Yeah.
How much did it pay you when you did the internship, the summer internship?
The summer internship, they increased it. It's up to $5,000 for the 10 weeks. No problem. Anything else? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Steve. That's exactly what I wanted the student to get. And now I have a former QCC student who graduated in 2007, then went on to City College to get his bachelor's in electrical engineering, and now he's pursuing his master's in Johns Hopkins University. I would like to welcome Dujon Hendricks. Thank you for coming this morning.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for the introduction. Where should I begin? Queensboro. Yeah, graduated in 2007, spring of 2007. It was an adjustment coming from, you know, high school. I went to Manhasset High School in Long Island to Queensboro. My goal was to graduate with, you know, an engineering science degree. It started off pretty tough, you know, not knowing that the requirements were so hard, so difficult. The math, the physics, the chemistry. So with that being said, you know, I just want to throw out to you guys that it's very important to realize that you guys will be spending a lot of time building your base, your foundation, your core. And having that well understood in your mind and, you know, setting yourself up is important, because the future courses depend on how you start, you know? And you guys will continue to flow better. City College. City College, intense, complete shock. Not Queensboro. You do poorly on one exam, you're done. I would say so. You'll be fighting. Approximately 1,000 kids went into the program, engineering program, and I would say about 30 of us graduated. It's a dog eat dog. So you got to put your game face on and realize that you guys are in a good place here, and even though you guys may not be pressured as a four-year college, you guys need to understand that what you do here can influence your future positively or negatively. At City College, I did internship at Brookhaven. I supported a EBIS project, electron beam ion source. I worked with one of the electrical engineers in developing a what they call a impedance measurement unit. It's pretty much like a switch that senses if there is a problem, it goes in the off position, and you know, if everything is safe, it goes in the on position. This was a very dangerous unit, so you know that, not the unit that I worked on, but the electron gun itself. You know, it's a very high-powered system, and therefore very dangerous. I also participated in a research program there. It's called LSAMP. I worked with an RF engineer, you know, and pretty much started developing my research understanding and things of that nature. So with that being said, these guys mentioned research opportunities here, and I think you guys should also look to take advantage of that. Within my City College period, I also came to realize that I'm not the only one fighting for a job, fighting for an opportunity. There is about 500 people fighting for that one spot. I just wanted to throw that out to you guys to let you guys know how serious it is. This is not a joke. And no one cares. And you guys have an opportunity. You guys are in a program that is giving you guys a breakfast and, you know, an opportunity to kind of wake up and kind of start off well and take it seriously, be aggressive. I also participated in an internship program in Maryland, in which I worked for the Department of Defense. There I did some antenna type work and also some electronics. During that internship, I also realized that there were hundreds of interns, and there was about 5 spots available. Because I did my homework, meaning that I did my research. Not that I did my research for the internship, meaning that in undergrad, I participated in research programs. I did multiple internships, and I did what I had to do to increase my chances of success later on when I was put in that position. The following year, I was hired, which is last year. So now I'm working there full time as one of the electronics engineers. You know, while working, I also go to school part-time at Johns Hopkins, in which I'm participating in the RF and microwave program. So basically, because I did my homework and I did the things that professors and my peers that, you know, are successful today planted in my head early, things kind of went smoothly, in a sense. Even though there were some bumps, there were some tough times, there were some days in which you will not sleep and you will have to hustle. But if you guys push yourselves now, and I'm being very serious, I'm giving you guys a lot of honest and truthful information. If you guys establish yourselves now, things will fall into place. And it won't be that difficult. And also, again, and I would like to remind you guys are not the only ones fighting to succeed and fighting to have that comfortable life. So understand that. It's hard for you guys to relate because you guys haven't experienced it yet. Once you guys experience it, then you look back and say, oh wow, he was right and he was really trying to help me out. But believe me, it's so intense that you don't really want to experience it. Take my word for it. It's something that I've experienced, and I'm letting you guys know it's tough. I have made it because I have this way about me of not quitting and not giving up. And that's why things work out for me. Any questions? Go ahead. And don't ask me a question about money.
I mean, I'm curious, but are you doing graduate level work now? Or are you working?
I work for Navigator, I work for the Navy.
Okay.
And my curriculum is relevant to my work. It's more of a RF and microwave concentration. It's RF technology. It's more like communication systems. And everything is at a different frequency. It's like a higher frequency. But yes, it's relevant if that's the question that you're asking.
No, what I actually meant, that was a question that I was asking. I wasn't asking something. I'm sorry. I said something.
This is the time to ask. That's another thing. Don't ever be afraid to ask questions. You guys will learn a lot. It may sound stupid, but and your peers might think it's the dumbest question ever, but it fulfilled your understanding or whatever you needed from it. Don't even worry about who's on your left and who's on your right and what they say. A lot of the kids that you enter college with will not be next to you when you leave. So you can't really worry about them. You know? So don't ever be afraid to ask a question. You guys will only benefit from it. I am still kind of nervous about asking questions. But you know, I fought that. You know, at my job, well, the college is about 2 hours from where I work. And so I cannot afford to not be aggressive in class. And that program is pretty intense. These guys, they dump it on me. You know, during my final last semester, I was taking 2 courses. I had 5 things to submit in 3 days between 2 classes. Crazy. So, but you know, if you have established yourself well early, you'll be able to attack those things, you know, and get it done. So, any other questions? Come on, guys, ask a question. I mean, ask anything. This is a good opportunity. Ask a question. What's on your mind? Do you want to know about like studying, or you know, like the math center? I think the math center was my baby. When I came here, oh man, lived in that place. It was the best thing that ever happened to me. And I realized, now looking back, that I'm glad that I did that. You know, I established myself because I'm calling on that knowledge now. I'm given a problem in which I have to calculate the derivative. And that's something you learn in the first semester. But if it was well understood, you may not remember it right off the bat, but it's there, you can look at it, you can play with it, and then all of a sudden it comes back to you. But all of that is, you know, a part of the whole establishment thing early. You know, that's your question. No. Time management. How are we doing on time? Should I?
No, it's fine. I just wanted to mention, for example, you said that at one point you had to submit 5 things within 3 days that was school related. And if it was, I am sure that you had the syllabus the first day of classes. So the first day of class, when they give you the syllabus, they're already telling you this is what we are going to cover, tentatively at least, for the semester. And if there is a term paper due in March, you know that in January. So if you choose to start the term paper March 1st and it's due March 15th, thinking, oh, you know, 15 days is plenty of time. It is plenty of time if you really sit down every day to invest those hours. But if it's not plenty of time, if within those 15 days, you have to attend a conference, that's 3 days. You have to babysit, that's like 4 days. You're losing a lot of those times, and you may be sick. That's, you know, you really have to learn and start at least thinking of planning ahead of time. The semester starts now, they give you the syllabus, you have a weekend free maybe. You sit down and, okay, these are the chapters. Oh, you see one chapter, yeah, it's okay. The book may be this small, so you think one chapter is 5 pages, but you have calculus or chemistry I have a nursing student who just came in the other day, and she said, I have 15 chapters due the first lecture. How is that happening? They expect you to go over 15 chapters on the first day of classes, ready to answer questions. This requires a lot of planning, and you have to really commit and understand the little effort every day is going to pay off at the end. I'm speaking also from experience because I've been in school for what, maybe 8 years now, almost straight. It's really, you always have time. You know, you always have time. People say, oh, I don't have time for this. You always have time. For things that you want to do, you will always find time, right? Think about it. And, you know, it's very important, very, very important to start early. You don't wait the last minute to find out, oh, I needed that book. CSTEP is giving you guys books, but you have to make the request. We have about a little bit over 110 students for per year. We have that for the semester. Therefore, we don't have 110 times 5 books to provide, you know, everything that you need. It's first come, first serve, and the first come shows that these are the students that are committed. These are the students that take the education seriously. You know that it's available, you ask for it, you receive it. If you don't, find out other resources like Queen's Library, the public libraries, the New York public libraries. You're a student, you have access to many other libraries. If they don't have, you don't have to purchase it. Queensboro may have the book in the shelf, but you don't know because you don't ask. You know, you just, like you said, never be afraid to ask questions. I have this term paper, it's due in MLA format. What is MLA format? You don't have to know. That's why you're here. You ask me. And okay, maybe I don't know the answer, but I know somebody who does and say, why don't you go to the library, XYZ person is in charge of doing workshops on MLA format. And maybe they have those workshops every week. But you don't know because you don't ask. And you're like thinking, oh, you're stressing yourself a lot more than you should because the resources are there. Okay? So I really, really want you to follow this advice and ask questions. You are in doubt. A lot of you here have been emailing me constantly. Amber, a good example. You email me, I reply right away. 12 midnight, 2 in the morning, I'm replying. Ask me a question. Send me, you don't have to come in the office, take some time during your day, you know. And if you have a smartphone, even better. Just send me not a text, an email, and I would most likely reply within the day. Sometimes I take longer because I have other activities, but most of the time I try to do it within the same week. At least tell you, please be patient, I'm dealing with XYZ. Yes? So I need you to do that for me this semester. Okay?
So yeah, with that being said, I just want to end by saying, be aggressive. You know, be aggressive. You have nothing to lose, not everything to gain. It's a great opportunity to establish yourself, so you guys can transition into other things better. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you again for coming. We have more speakers, and they are students like you. I now would like to introduce Andrew Garcia, who has been in the math department and has been doing research, just like you, brand new, didn't know what it was, and was thinking, you know, I don't even have any background in math in a way, and just hearing about the benefits, you know, it pays, and you also get to network. So now, after an internship or a research project, another good, a positive aspect of it is that you have one more person that can give you a letter of recommendation. Everywhere you go, they ask you for a reference, or you apply for a college. Imagine now if you are going to City College, for example, in the CSTEP, they have a CSTEP program, by the way, and if you come from this CSTEP program, you tell me, Francesca, I applied to City College, and I want to join the CSTEP program there. How do I go about that? Because you don't have to do all the research yourself. I'm here to help you. And me, it just takes me a phone call or like an email, and the person is like, Francesca sent you? Already, they are more welcoming. And it's easier for you to transition between, you know, the two colleges, because trust me, a 4-year college is very, very different from Queensboro. Okay? So without, you know, additional comments, I'm going to introduce Andrew. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. The other presenters prepared way more than I did, but I'll try to do my best. Okay. So hello, ladies and gentlemen, fellow CSTEP students. My name is Andrew Garcia. Today I will be talking about my research experiences, and more importantly, why you should do research. Before I answer that question, it is necessary for me to talk a little bit about my background. When I was in high school, I was a bad student. I'd barely attend class. I'd always be late. My GPA never reached higher than a 70. And the worst thing of all was when I went to class, I'd always fall asleep. Kind of makes you wonder why I'm up here talking to you right now. Anyways, QCC accepted me when I applied to them. And in my first semester in the Ivy Leagues of community college, QCC for those of you who don't know, I didn't do much, but go to class and go back home. Of course, I didn't get into any research programs, but a professor has suggested that I take part in a math program that pays students for getting tutored. Without missing a heartbeat, I jumped at the opportunity. The end of the semester finally came, and the program ended. Right before the program ended, though, a professor came to the tutoring program one day and suggested that me and a couple other students take part in a math summer research program. He handed me the application and told me to apply, and before I knew it, he was gone. Inside my head, I laughed and said, "Who does he think I am? Give up a portion of my summer to do research that's not paid?" Shortly after reading the rest of the application, I applied without missing a heartbeat. I realized that they were offering a stipend of $1,500. I got into the summer research program, and at first was terrified because I knew nothing of paying attention to the professors for long periods of time. Finally, I met my research professor, Dr. Franco, and my research partner, Luis. Even though we would meet only once in a blue moon during the summer vacation, we finished the project, and it was a great success when we presented it to the other researchers. Dr. Franco had also suggested that my research partner and I take part in the Society for Advancement of Chicanos and Native Americans annual national conference in Seattle, Washington. At first, I was very dismissive, since it was on the other side of the country, and I imagined everything outside of New York to be huts and teepees. But Dr. Franco assured me that it wasn't what I imagined. The program also offered to cover my trip and hotel. So without missing a heartbeat, I went to Seattle, Washington, and presented my research project. The experiences I had at this conference were priceless. I met a load of new people, all interested in the STEM careers and excited to network with me. The students and staff at this conference were willing to answer any questions I had about my career options. I got to meet respected scientists, spoke to representatives from nationwide universities and government agencies, such as NASA. And I was enlightened to know that everything outside of New York isn't simply huts and teepees. I came back to New York, and for the last semester, I was looking for research opportunities, whether it be paid or not. And now another opportunity has reared its beautiful face in my path, and I've taken it, hopefully to have another life-changing experiences, such as the ones I've had in my last research. Now that I've talked about my research experiences, let me explain why you should do research. There are 5 reasons. 1, networking. It's very helpful if you know a lot of professors and a lot of other students that are interested in what you're doing, because one day they'll be able to scratch your back if you need it. All right. 2, stipends. $1,500 is worth it. $5,000 is worth it. And eventually getting a job is definitely worth it. So consider it. Attending conferences. Well, if you do research, you're more likely to attend conferences because your professors will offer it to you. Of course, at these conferences, you get to network with other students that are interested in what you're interested in, and you get to hear other experiences, which are very crucial, especially if you're a minority. You get to visit new places. I mean, I got to visit Seattle, Washington. It was very beautiful there. And you get to put your experiences on your resume, which looks very nice when you're applying to other colleges and when you're applying to programs. So now that I've given you reasons as to why to do research, I hope you take the opportunity to apply to some research projects. Thank you. Questions? Anybody? Amber? Steve?
I know you said everything changed when you started doing research. So has any of your future plans in general, have they changed since you?
Yes, actually, that's exactly what happened. I originally wanted to do history, believe it or not. So I was never even interested in science. I was like, that's whack. I was just not interested. And then, whatever, I took some science classes and I got a little bit interested. And then Professor Franco had offered me to do, Professor Puri had offered me to do research, math research. It was actually mathematical modeling on the rate of oil consumption. Sounds complicated, it's really not. And I went to this conference, and then after I went, I fell in love with math, if you will. And I decided I wanted to do applied mathematics and pre-med. So, yes, my experiences did change what I wanted. Thank you for the question. Anybody else? No? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. And for those interested, I do have applications for the Minority Student Mentoring Program. If you can just send me an email and we can make an appointment to discuss eligibility. And now I would like to introduce another aspect of the program, which is the CSTEP Club, which provides students with weekly workshops, mainly academically related, but we do have some field trips to museums and other botanical gardens. And I just want to first introduce Jeannie, the club advisor, and also because we have a team for Work to Aspire, which is a movement that they do at the college to raise money for scholarships. So one of you could probably benefit from that. Jeannie, did you give the raffle tickets already? No. So the raffle tickets are $1 each. So for $1, you can, you get a prize anyway with us, but you get to participate in the fundraising for the college. So just raise your hand if you have $1 handy, and if not, Jeannie is good at IOUs. Okay. In the meantime, I'm going to have the club president, Sheroya Davenport, just talk to you briefly about the different events and her experience at CSTEP so far. Thank you.
Okay, good morning. My name is Sheroya Davenport. I'm the club president. And let me just say that I'm so glad that everybody made it. I hope you all are having a good time learning new things. The club is not exactly like the program, whereas we have a lot of events in which you can learn new things regarding education and all academic things. And we go on trips that will either focus on one of the aspects. It could be science, engineering, mathematics. We try to go on trips where in the middle of the semester you have a break, you have some time to relax. So this semester we're going to go to Central Park Zoo. And it's going to be a lot of fun, no cost to you. And as a member of the program, you're also a member of the club as well. So try to come out. If you can't make it to every event, it's okay. We won't be upset. But try to make it to some of them because they're really helpful. We have a transfer workshop, which I know people like me, I'm graduating this semester. That could be really beneficial so you know what school you want to go to, how the process is, because it can be very confusing and frustrating at times. My small history, because I'm not going to be before you long, is I came to Queensboro as a transfer student. I didn't know what was going on. I just didn't know where to go. I got an email from CSTEP, and I just followed up with it. I realized that I need to get into something so that I stand out and I'm not just like everybody else, because I want to be a physician assistant. And there's like probably 1 million people that want to do the same thing I do. So I decided, let me go with CSTEP, figure out what it's about. I realized that people like Francesca and Jeannie are great. They're here to help us. They work really hard to do it, even though there's things that's probably going on with them, but they put that second and put us first. And I think that that's an important thing to have in a program and in a club. From there, I just participated because they've networked me into different programs, into different internships, meeting different people. It's really great to be in this program because it's like, after you leave the school, we're going to be on our own. I don't have to be in a 4-year yet to know that. And you're not going to get as much help as you get now, where professors will take more time to talk about stuff. That's not going to happen. So in a way, CSTEP is also here to let us know we have to grow up. We have to be ready, prepared to study, to work really hard. Because there's not just 100 people in the school anymore, it's probably like 1 million. So I'm thankful for being in this program, for having the opportunities I have. And if you know me, you'll know that I'm busy all the time. I'm in a lot of stuff. Right now I'm trying to do research, so I'm gonna follow up with you. And that'll add on to the many things I'm doing. Like working, I'm doing an internship in the nursing department. I'm the club president, I volunteer at my church. I do a lot of stuff. So if you need more information about the club, see me when this is over, and I will let you know, and you can participate and have a great time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shoria. I just want to also mention that they already have a CSTEP calendar, CSTEP club calendar of events. It's going to be available online. I didn't want to print them out because I try to go against paper. Also to encourage you to visit the CSTEP website where everything is posted and updated periodically. I also want to mention a couple of other things. We have a new brochure that just came out in January, where the information that you need and that you need to be aware of throughout the semester are listed, including the requirements, the benefits, and if you are able to refer the program to some friends, you can talk about it. It's going to be beneficial for them and for us. We are supposed to serve about 110 students per year. We have about 115 maybe, so we have a little more than enough already. That's why some people may apply and say, oh, but we didn't get accepted because we're on a waiting list. It's okay. Every semester students transfer, every semester students graduate, therefore there will be more room for new applicants. But the requirements, I want to, I guess, change them a little bit. I want every CSTEP student to have a minimum of 3.0 GPA. Just because in the STEM fields, it's really like the basic tool that you need, because you have a lot of competition and science is not something to take lightly. Therefore, when you start with you have the GPA already now, you have internship experience, you have research experience, and you've been part of CSTEP, that's one more referral when you're applying towards another school, another program. It's a plus for you. I feel more secure that you're going to do fine. You're going to be doing better in the 4-year college because you're more prepared. And this is the time, not when you're about to graduate and say, okay, last semester, let's do a couple of more experiences. You have to do it throughout. It's better and it builds who you are, okay? So there is, you'll be receiving an email soon, requesting information if you are involved in any internship opportunities for the semester. Sometimes some students just take the different classes that are internship classes. Just let me know, because there is a possibility for you to receive a stipend. How many of you have received stipends before? Or in the process of receiving stipends soon? Voila, so a lot of you. You have to complete a form at the end of each semester where you give me the details of the research, but officially, and the supervisor is supposed to give remarks as well, and that makes you eligible. Sometimes it's 200, sometimes it's 500. I try to keep it to 500 because it's another way to help you out and encourage you to stay in research, because it's really, you're gonna enjoy the benefits later. A couple of other things I want to mention. There is a program on campus called Single Stop, and it's a program that will basically screen your information and find out if you are eligible for any additional financial assistance. And I have applications in my office at all times, and if you ever have any questions, you can always ask me, and I would refer you to the right person to talk to. So the application is here, just complete it, they will screen it, and if you are eligible for any additional support, why not apply for it, okay? Again, I want to mention the publicity consent form, because this, we have various events throughout the semester, and we take pictures and videos. I want you to all be aware, and if you agree, that's fine, you can just sign it. If not, let me know so that I can screen the pictures and take those that you are part of. Also, like Dr. Jean-Pierre mentioned, we have a tutoring segment in CSTEP. We encourage the CSTEP student to tutor other CSTEP students. This way, you guys help each other. It's a student just like you. He just finished the class last semester with an A, comfortable explaining the notions. Therefore, you are eligible to apply. And there is also a stipend for tutors. And the application is available in the office, just to show you, what it looks like, so that you know. And very importantly, the book request form. How many of you have completed the book request form? To that, yes? Okay, and those who haven't, is it because you don't need books this semester? I don't think so. Okay, so please also pass by the office and request the form so that you can complete all the information. We want to get the books out as early as possible. The semester already started. You're probably in the second week of class now. The earlier you get the books, the better. But you have to request them, okay? Any additional... Do you guys have any other questions concerning the semester? Like...